Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Okay, look, Tyson Fury, listen, I don't think he's bipolar. He's just a cockahole, all right? Simple. Now, we look at Tyson Fury and all of the recent rants and shouting, cussing, not knowing what direction he wants to go. There are some people, out here who are feeling sorry for Tyson Fury. And I'm going to tell you, I don't feel sorry for him. I understand some of the diagnoses with Tyson Fury from anxiety, depression, and of course bipolar disorder. But when you look at the things this man is doing the same, it's kind of hard for me to sit here and want to feel sorry for him and say, you know what, maybe he really is bipolar. Now, I understand it was a diagnosis by a doctor, so I have no right to sit here and question that. But this type of stuff he's doing, I don't know if that's necessarily linked to him being bipolar, because what does being bipolar have to do with wanting $500 million from the Saudis? You know what I'm saying? But just to make it interesting, I said, let me make sure I understand this whole thing about bipolar disorder, because there are some people that I'm seeing on Twitter, in comments and other videos, even a couple comments in my video, oh, Tyson Fury, you guys shouldn't say those things about him. Tyson Fury struggled with all these mental health issues. Let me tell you something, man. With my background, when it comes to full contact sport, there's a lot of mental and physical damage that happens. So I don't joke about mental health because I understand how that affects people. But I'll tell you this. With him, I'm not so sure that it's the old bipolar disorder. Okay? Because he picks and chooses when he wants to rant. This whole thing about him and Usyk, look, he does that with all of his opponents. He don't do it with his wife. He don't do it with Frank Warren. We understand he has a pretty good sense of humor. But when we try to understand bipolar by definition, let me just go over a couple of things and see if he fits the bill. Okay? So we're talking about the overview of bipolar disorder. It's formerly called manic depression, right? It's a mental health condition that causes extreme mood swings that include emotional highs and lows. Now, when we just read that and try to understand it, extreme mood swings, with Tyson Fury getting on social media and shouting and cussing and calling Usyk all kind of names, calling Deontay Wilder names, would you guys consider that a mood swing? I'm not so sure I consider that a mood swing. I consider that him being a cockahole. But going on, says when you become depressed, you may feel sad or hopeless and lose interest and pleasure in most activities. Okay? This man loves boxing. He hasn't seemed to have lost the interest in boxing. But then again, he says boxing saved his life. Boxing is where he's the most comfortable. But when your mood shifts, right, you may feel euphoric, full of energy, or unusually irritable. I don't know. Does he ever seem unusually irritable? Seems pretty happy-go-lucky, right? It just seems to me that he's become extremely irritable when at the idea of him not making no damn 100, 2, 3, 4, $500 million. The idea that he has to come back and fight in Wembley and get, you're talking about crumbs compared to what he was going to get. Now, the real person here who I think who should probably and may probably, if a few more of those Tyson Fury rants takes place, will probably show some signs of bipolar disorder, is Alexander Usyk. Okay? Alexander Usyk's cool as a fan. But I'm telling you, he's getting tired of the BS. But, this may take a toll on him. And then you may see a guy like Usyk starting to have these mood swings. It can affect your sleep. Tyson Fury, like he's getting good damn sleep to me. But with a guy like Usyk, with everything going on, all the stuff he has on his plate, with in his personal life, then with his professional career, I can see Usyk coming out in his little Ukrainian accent, instead of calling Tyson Fury belly or greedy belly, he may say MNF in greedy belly. You know what I'm saying? But those kind of mood swings can occur, several times a year. Tyson Fury, like I said, he seems to pick and choose when he wants to be a cockahole, and it's normally when it's not going his way. him and Deontay Wilder seem to be things, buddies, you know. They could tell a lot of stuff was discussed behind the scenes when, according to that first fight. Then after that, you know, for some reason, Tyson Fury fell off. So I'm not sure if he's still seeing a therapist, if it was all smoke and mirrors. There was someone who said, I don't know how true it is, but I'm going to go ahead and share it with you, that Tyson Fury was never seeing a doctor, a therapist, a psychologist, a sociologist, or anyone who specializes in mental health struggles. That was just something that was conjured up as his comeback, and that's why Tyson Fury has just, for the most part, set all of that aside, all of those initiatives, all those intentions, all those endeavors, all of him being an advocate for mental health. He seemed to set all that aside because now he got enough people to feel sorry for him and to help get him back into the position along, you know, with, you know, his advisor, you know, I ain't talking about Bob Arum, you know, and Usman Sajjad. So it is what it is. But that being said, I want to make sure you guys understand, I'm not downplaying mental health, but when it comes to this guy, Tyson Fury, I'm just not sure that Tyson Fury is suffering from some bipolar disorder. I just don't think so. I think he's a guy who can get a little bit agitated, and he just is used to doing and saying what he wants. There's a lot of people who carry on like that. They're not diagnosed with bipolar disorder. If I go to Walmart, I'm not bipolar. If I go to Sam's, I'm not bipolar. But if I give somebody my money, especially if I pay for cash, and instead of putting it in my hand, they drop it on the counter, on the belt, I may drop a little Usyk, mother effing greedy belly on them. I may have a little outburst. Don't mean I'm crazy or bipolar. It's just I'm a guy that's all about respect and standards. You know what I'm saying? Tyson Fury seems to be a kind of guy who knows what he can get away with, and he likes the shock and awe, and definitely likes to remain in the headline. So I'm gonna tell you this: although when it comes to this bipolar disorder, it can be a lifelong condition. But when you really look back, and I got to be fair on this one, whenever a microphone or camera was put in front of Tyson Fury's face, right, Mr. MNF and Greedy Belly, he always had something to say, and that's why I'm not so convinced that this diagnosis of him being bipolar right now, I'm just not so sure that I would say he's bipolar. But if a doctor diagnosed him, it is what it is. But for me, I don't know, because that man was over in WWE, smiling, having fun, getting to carry on. When this man is out here doing those interviews back, you know, when he was not even had 12, 13 fights, when the microphone's put in front of him, he'd put on the show. If a camera's put in front of him, he puts on a show. Outside of that, he's chilling. He's in the breeze. So I just think with Tyson Fury, he just chooses to be a CACAHOLE because he can, and he likes to keep his name in the headlines, and he knows if a camera or a microphone put in front of him, he knows what to do with it. And it is what it is. But bipolar disorders and a lot of other mental health issues, they can be dealt with a lot of counseling and medication. Now, Tyson Fury, I mean, I'm not sure what kind of help he's getting, what kind of medication he may or may not be taking. But that being said, if there's a mental health issue here, don't you have to get cleared by the doctors to fight? Okay? So for those of you who hung around to this point in the video at the 8-minute mark, if you're going into a fight, don't you got to get medically cleared? So how can this man with a bipolar disorder, right, is taking medication, all these supposedly these outbursts, these mood swings, you know what I'm saying? How's he allowed to fight? That's all I'm saying. The worst thing you want to do is put an unstable fighter in the ring. So for those of you who if you haven't got through the video and you post some nonsense in the comments, I'm gonna blast you and tell you, go watch the whole video. But for those of you who got me to this point, explain to me. Yo, when you go in for those physicals and you got to get the doctor to sign off, it's not just a battery of blood work and everything. To me, it's an all-inclusive examination and test. And it's already out there, it's public knowledge that this individual is struggling with severe mental health issues, bipolar disorder, OCD, depression, anxiety. I mean, he's got a cocktail of mental health issues. You gonna let that man get in the ring and fight? So get out of here. If, in fact, Tyson Fury was going through these kind of struggles and to this day still dealing with this stuff, I just don't think they would allow him to fight. Because that's the point I'm at with him. I'm gonna be honest with you. Why are we letting this guy fight? That's all I'm saying. What are we doing here? So it is what it is, man. But that being said, I think we just need to really understand when it comes to Tyson Fury. We talk about it, man. We're talking about different symptoms. Some of this kind of fits him, but again, why would you let him fight? Abnormally upbeat, jumpy, or wired. Is he like that? Kind of seems like that sometimes when the camera's in his face. Increased activity, energy, or agitation. Exaggerated sense of well-being and self-confidence. Decreased need for sleep. He look like he get pretty good sleep. Unusual talkativeness. I mean, I don't know. He's loquacious. A lot of us are. I'm not sure if that means that we're dealing with any kind of bipolar disorder. Racing thoughts, distractibility. I mean, I think we can really overthink things and lose our focus from time to time. Poor decision making. Well, I mean, if that's what we're talking about, poor decision making, well, he's definitely a candidate for bipolar disorder because my man made a horrible decision going out to Saudi Arabia and try to play the king and the prince. He played himself. So that being said, there's so much more about this guy that we can peel back. But my thing is, people, let's not come out here and start trying to justify the things that Tyson Fury has done, really his whole career, especially probably around that, after that second, probably about the second Deontay Wilder fight. He really turned into a lunatic. But to where we are now, he's full-blown CACAHOLE, man. And I don't think what we're seeing is a full-blown display of him being bipolar. Stop making excuses for that man. If there's a real serious issue going on, I can't see them allowing him to fight. If they'll let him fight, then I think it's fair for us to sit here and say that, hey, look, it's not bipolar. He's just being a CACAHOLE. That being said, y'all keep cool. Shout out to the veterans. Anybody want to, throw something out in the comments, we can have a healthy dialogue. But remember, what I'm saying is nothing funny about mental health. I do believe there may be some stuff there, but I just can't understand if somebody has these severe symptoms of depression, OCD, anxiety, depression, or whatever, right? You can't see why the doctors will let him fight. Don't get over it. If he's going to clear him to fight today, and then the next 4 months he has all these mental health issues, then you go clear him to fight at the 5th month mark, and then he's okay. Then he got to go back, and now he's suffering from all these mental health issues after that. Get out of here. It doesn't work like that, right? So that being said, I'm going to leave it alone. But for me, Tyson Fury, he's a CACAHOLE, played himself. People lost some respect for him. And I just think it's going to be hard for him to rebuild the way he did coming off of that first stint where he had pretty much quit boxing and was talking about wanting to harm himself. What he's done now is kind of like Adrian Broner creating his own misery. Hell, who knows? Tyson Fury may sign with Don King. You never know. Y'all keep cool. I'm in the breeze.